Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day. And this is lesson number 35 in our dive into the wonderful world of music theory. And today we're going to be talking about a very interesting concept, which is relative minors. So before I move on to this, we've been talking about key signature for the past 5 lessons. And I would really encourage you to go back to the 5 lessons and rewatch them if you do not have a good understanding of key signature or do the worksheets associated, because I explained it 10 different times there, and I would really like you to have a good understanding of key signature. Like if you're following this in order lessons, right? I would like you to have a good understanding of key signature before you move on to something like relative minors. So if you don't think you have good understanding, I would like you to re-go through the lessons, perhaps do the worksheets associated with them again, just get a better understanding. So if you think you're clear with it on key signatures, then we can move on. So to begin with, I'm going to write out a major scale. So I'm going to write out C, D, I'm going to write C major scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And just for experiment, you know what I'm going to do. I am going to write A minor scale. So let me write A minor scale. So I'm going to write that's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And you might notice something if you are quite perceptive, that these two scales, C major and A minor, have exactly the same pitches in them. They may start and end on a different note, sure, but they have the exact same pitches in them. There's no sharps, there's no flats, they all have A, B, C, D, F, G, just in different order. So it starts on C, ends on C, starts on A, ends on A. But they all have the same pitches in them. And this is what we call a relative minor. So A minor is a relative minor of C major. Is the relative minor of C major. And just to show you what that, let's just play both scales on the piano just once to see what that sounds like. So C major scale sounds like this. Now A minor scale sounds like this. So I'm in fact, both I'm only playing white keys and I play C, G, A, B, C. I'm sorry, my voice seems to be in terrible stage today. But yeah, so C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Here I'm saying, you can think of me starting on A. So I'm saying A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So they're the exact same pitches, just in a different order. So one I start on C and end on C, another one I start on A and end on A. But they're the exact same pitches, just reordered a bit, shifted back a bit for the minor. And that's something quite interesting. And for those of you who are clear with key signature, you might quickly realize that I only touched upon major scales in my key signature, right? I only touched upon major scales in my key signature videos, and the reason I did that is because talk about minor key signatures, but they are the same as major key signatures. For example, no sharps, no flats, which is the C major key signature, is also the A minor key signature. They both have the same key signature. As you can see, because they have the same pitches, they have the same key signature. So, anyways, I'm a bit ahead of myself. Let's define it. So we know what this means. Now let's define. So a relative minor is a minor scale that consists of the same pitches as a specific, oh sorry about my spelling, the specific major scale. I can give you one more example. Let's say I have G major scale. I'll write out G major scale here. It's G, D, E, F sharp. Oh, sorry, what am I writing? I'm so sorry. Uh, I seem to have gone. See now. So sorry. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. Remember that the F sharp and G major scale, and G. And let me write E minor scale just for reference. I write E, then it goes to F sharp, then it goes to G, then it goes to A, then it goes to B, then it goes to C, then it goes to D, and then it comes back to E. And as you can see, both of these, G major and E minor, both of them have, just like C major and A minor, the exact same pitches, the exact same notes, just in different orders. So you can see we have an F sharp here and an F sharp here, right? So great, but hopefully you can see that the exact same pitches. So this is G. It is A. If I order this just in terms of alphabetical order, it's A B C D E F. E B C D E F sharp G, and if I order this in terms of alphabetical order, it's A B C D E F G, A B C D E F sharp G. Point is, if you look at each pitch, it's exactly the same. So they consist of the same pitches. So E minor is a relative minor of G major. That's how we say it. So E minor is the relative minor of G major. For a capital G that video. And what you realize is that every major scale has a relative minor, and every minor has a relative major, right? So, for example, if I wanted to flip it, G major is the relative major of E minor, whatever. Point being, the meaning is that they have the exact same pitches, right? That means that they're interchangeable. So, it's, a lot of music involves switching between relative minors and relative majors. So, if you want to introduce, let's say you're writing a piece which is in C major, and you want to introduce a theme which is slightly more sad and tragic, you might momentarily switch to an A minor type key. Where you go to A minor, and it's the exact same pitches. You don't change the key signature, and it's natural. For example, let's say I'll be directly on the slide here, so it's like. So whenever I want to go to slightly darker place, I might switch to it. That's exactly what I did there. I improvised, but yeah. So, and when you're writing maybe in a minor, when you're writing a tragic piece or a more tension-filled and aggressive piece, which maybe in a minor, you might, when you to go to a slightly more, you know, a slightly different theme, maybe in the middle you want a happy theme, you usually switch to C major, and you find this in a ton of places. Point being, there are multiple uses of relative minor, relative major relationship. As I said, these have the same key signature. So, for example, because they have the same pitches, if I have to write the key signature, let me just draw a quick staff here. If I have to write the key signature of, G major scale, it's going to be 1 sharp. If I have to write the key signature of E minor scale, right? Let's look at it. So we got 1 sharp, which is F sharp, and follows the rules which I have stated before. You have to write it in one go. Starts on E, ends on E. It has each pitch mentioned at least once, no one mentioned twice, and I've only used sharps. And it's also just 1 sharp. Why? Because they have the exact same pitches. So the key signatures are the same, and they flow very easily one into another, right? That's what I wanted. That's basically what relative minors are. There is just a minor scale which has the same pitches as a specific major scale. So, keeping that in mind, I just want to do one small thing here, is that I want to do all the key signatures we've just mentioned, but now I want to mention their minor counterparts. And for those of you wondering that, hey, if this is, for those of you wondering, hey, how do I tell the difference if they're the same key signature? Now, how do I know if a piece is in A major? How do I know if a piece is in C major or A minor? How do I know? Well, you just for that you actually look at the music. So, for example, usually pieces which are in C major will start on C or on G, but pieces which are in A minor will usually start on A or on E. And you look at then there are multiple other questions. You look at the chord progression. You look at basically the flow of the music. What is it? What does the music sound like? Is it tragic or is it happy? And what notes are you there using are you using C, G, E a lot, or using A, C, E a lot? So it depends. But point is, you look at the music, and it's usually the note which starts on is often where it comes from. So trust me, you can even at your even at the level which you guys are probably at right now, if you're watching this lesson, you'll probably be able to tell if something's in A minor and C major just by the pitches you can see and how it sounds. Regardless, so no sharps, no flats, no sharps, no flats is C major, and now I'm going to write the relative minor as well. It's also A minor. So when I want to write a piece in A minor, right, because you can have a piece in A minor. For example, a piece in A minor, very famous one, if you release. So it is in A minor, right? And that means it uses the pitches that are there in A minor, and the key signature then D, no sharps, no flats. So yeah, just like you can have a piece in major, which means that in a major scale, which means it uses all the pitches of a specific major scale. You can have a thing in a piece in a minor scale, which uses all the pitches within a minor scale. Same thing. Alright, great. Now let's look at another one. My staves are getting worse and worse as we go on. Wow, it's gonna be terrible to write on, but one sharp, hopefully that's visible. F sharp, not very nicely drawn. F sharp, let me just make that clear. I'll draw a better stave next time. But one sharp, I'm sure we all know this key signature, and that's G major, hopefully as you know by now. And its relative minor, which we just discussed, is E minor. So this is also a E minor key signature. It works with both the G major and E minor key signature. And the way you draw the differences again by looking at the music itself. Okay, next. Oh, sorry, this one product on Apple pattern. Fine. Here we go. Clef. Two sharps. So F sharp and C sharp. That F slightly higher, but it doesn't really matter. Two sharps is D major or B minor. And now from now on, I would encourage you to pause the video, try to figure out the rest yourself in terms of sharps and flats. And if you can't, try to confirm that this is indeed the case. Alright. It's a bit too large. Just want to write the key signature. Great. Okay, now three sharps is what comes next. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. Three sharps is E major or F sharp minor. This is the first accidental minor. So E major or F sharp minor. Great. And don't worry, you don't have to memorize. This is actually a very simple trick to figure out a major and or minor, relative major, relative minor, and I'll teach you that at the end of this video. It's really simple. It's not like the key signature, which is such a convoluted long tip and trick that you might just want to memorize it. This is relatively easy, and I'll teach it to you later. But might as well get all the key signatures and everything out right now. Now let's move on to four sharps: F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. So four sharps, which is hopefully you know by now, E major, and also C sharp minor. C sharp minor. Then one more is left. Okay, we're only doing till 5 for now. And in most music you'll encounter only 5. Up until 5 sharps and 5 flats. I may at some point in the future cover more, right? I may cover 6 sharps and 7 sharps, or 6 flats and 7 flats, or whatever. But as of now, I don't have an intention to do that. Though I did explain how it works generally in one video. But anyways, moving on, 5 sharps is, I forgot to dash here. 5 sharps is B major or G sharp minor. B major or G sharp minor. Let's move on to the flats. I'll go straight to one flat here. So I take one flat, the middle line as B flat, and this is one flat, which is F major. I may need some more space and I'll slightly move to the side. F major or D minor. D minor. Now let's talk about two flats. That's B flat and E flat. So two flat is B flat major or G minor scales. So what I mean, 2, 3, 4, 5. So bad stuff, but three flats, which is B flat, E flat, and A flat. Three flats is E flat major or E flat major or C minor. Four flats now, and sorry, I'm four flats. Of course, I'm not drawing it the best, but yeah. Hopefully, it's. And I did another video where it was all there properly. But regardless, anyways, four flats is A flat major or F minor. That's great. And then we'll do one last one, which I'm sure you can imagine. Five flats, which is a lovely friend D flat major, whose relative minor is B flat minor. Let's move slightly. B flat minor. Okay, so you may I've moved here. You might want to take a screenshot. I'm giving you that opportunity if you feel like it, or you can easily find this on the internet, and you can take a screenshot here if you feel like it. Now let's take a step down, and now I'm going to teach you the simplest trick in the world to figure out what's the relative major and what's the relative minor. Well, we're coming from that super convoluted trick for the key signature, so this is much easier. So if you have a major, let's say D major, and you want to find its relative minor, go to the sixth note in the D major scale, and it's going to be that minor. So let's write out the D major scale: D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, and you go to the sixth note or the submediate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, B. It's B minor. So whenever you have a major scale and you want to find out the relative minor, it is the sixth note. It's B minor. It's the sixth pitch. It's B minor. So this is indeed the case. If you want to double check with C major, because that's something that is our first example. Let's double check. Let's do C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. And let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like 6. 6 is A minor, exactly as we discussed earlier. So 6 is A minor, and we're all fine and dandy. So if you ever have a major and you want to find out its relative minor, you go to the sixth, and that's it. It's lovely. Okay, now if you have a minor, let's say E minor, and now you want to find out its relative major, which is also quite a common use case. Very simple. You just go to its third. Just write out the minor scale. It's a third note in the minor scale, third pitch. So I'll write out E minor scale. E. No, sorry about that. F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, and E, and 1, 2, 3 G major. So when you have a minor scale and you want to find out a major scale, the relative major scale, you go to the third note. Similarly, let's take B minor. Oh no, I've already done that up there. What else? Let's take G minor. Sure. And remember, you have to write G minor the correct way, which I've taught you already. So you go G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So good. Now if you go to the third, 1, 2, 3, B flat, and it is indeed B flat major. So just to recap, if you ever want to find the relative minor of a major scale, right, you go to the sixth note in that major scale. If you ever want to find the relative major of a minor scale, you go to the third note. And that's it. It's very simple. So that's all you need to do. And yeah, that's about it. That's how I was doing it in my mind this entire time, because even it's not that common a use case that you memorize it in your head. I know a couple by heart, but then mostly I just figure it out pretty fast using this handy dandy trick. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to cover for this lesson. Relative minus, very simple concept, and I've talked about the key signatures, I've talked about the tricks. That's what I really wanted to cover, and I hope you learned something valuable from this. I hope you enjoyed it to some extent. I hope you gained something from it, and I wish you a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you very much, and see you next lesson.